was late. For my second personality.
Good.
Hi.
Mr. Myers?
The interesting stuff on the way first, if possible. Oxlade-Chamberlain transfers. What can you tell us?
Usually I don't say anything about transfer rumors, but I can make an exception, no problem. Nonsense.
That's it.
Yeah.
Totally nonsense. Can I ask you about the transfer window itself and how important it is to you as the manager here this January transfer window?
I thought actually I said everything about the January transfer window, but we can speak again about it. So it's my English is not good enough to use different words. So I say maybe exactly the same what I said before, and that's if we think we have to do something, and if there's the player which can help us not only in January, but in February, March, April, May, and the season after, then we would do something. But if not, then not. That's how it is. So, but it's the only time in the year, or one of two time periods in the year where you can do something. So it's of course important, but I'm not sure that it will be important for us this year.
Okay. Manchester City, you've talked about these 3 games that are just happening. This is your focus now. How big a game is this for Liverpool?
It's very big for both. So it's. But when you have a look in the table, then you see that obviously 6 clubs fight for 4 or 1. Really interesting position. Then you have the midfield with, in this moment, probably Southampton, Everton, and all the rest is, I hope I didn't forget anybody, fights for staying in the league. So that means already each game is kind of a final. So we know this, but we know on the other hand side that there are a lot of games to come, and you need to be ready for them too. So, but it's the only thing we have to do on New Year's Eve, actually. So it's the most important game I can imagine against the outstanding strong side. And but how I said before, there are a lot of advantages before the game. The only real advantage can be it's at Anfield. So, and we should try to use this advantage. And we are obviously not in the worst shape, but unfortunately Man City too, and that means it will be really difficult for both teams, I would say. So, and how I said already, I'm really looking forward to it because we all love playing against the best, and they are for sure in the group of the best teams in the world. So, happy to have the opportunity.
At the start of the season, people predicted Manchester City to be pretty much in the shape that Chelsea are in at the moment. Are you surprised that didn't happen?
I don't think that anybody thought that they play like Chelsea in the moment when Pep Guardiola is there. So they're in a position maybe, but that's completely different teams, completely different way of playing football. But that's not too important. Pep Guardiola has his clear philosophy, and
more position really. I think.
Okay. But they were in a good way, and then a few things happened. I don't know how many games they won in the start, so that's good. That's not really likely, I would say, when you come new in a club that everything work like this immediately. But that's the highest quality in the team, highest quality on the bench. So that's a pretty good mixture, and so they are successful. But this league is really difficult to play for all of us, and a lot of challenges to win each week. And so I didn't think too much in summer about where Man City will end, and actually not too much in the last week. So I only thought about what do we have to do to win the game.
Simon, and you talk about liking facing the best. Sergio Aguero has almost had a little winter break of his own, I think, hasn't he? So how do you feel about the chance for him to come back in?
Actually, I hope Pep gave him the opportunity to have 3.5 weeks off somewhere. Nice weather. Argentina is good in the moment, I think. No, yeah, what can I say? Yeah, he's back and a good striker, obviously. But yeah, we played them already, and that was involved. That I always thought that he's quite a talented boy. That I think, well, I never made a secret of it. So now he's back in the team with a lot of other really good players. So that makes life not easier for us. But again, we knew it before, and even when he's not playing, then they have outstanding team. So that's not too much we think about. That's only one thing of a lot of things. How it always is Aguero can only score goals if somebody gives him the ball. So we have to avoid the easy passes, I would say. Probably we cannot avoid each pass in his area, but the easy ones we should avoid, and we can defend. We're able to defend really good. So for this we need to be concentrated. That's the biggest challenge in this game, to play on the highest concentration level in each second of the game. But again, it's for both teams hopefully the same, and so yeah, they could have the same problems with us.
And if he's maybe one of their talisman, Philippe is arguably one of your talisman as well. Does he have any chance, Philippe? None at all? No?
He's in a good way, in a really good way. I spoke to him a few minutes ago. But yeah, the City game for sure too early, and if the City game is too early, then pretty sure the Sunderland game is too early too. So that's it.
We'll go to Julia.
Jurgen, you know, going back to Alex Oxlade Chamberlain, you say it's nonsense, you made that exception to talk about that. What's irritated you more about it though? Is it because maybe other people are using Liverpool to try and gain advantage to their benefit, and the speculation that goes with it?
Look, this kind of thing where I think a lot about and say nothing, because it's really not interesting what I think about this. But if you are already on a kind of a path, so do with it what you want. But from my side, nothing else to say about it.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, on a lighter note, Pep Guardiola was here obviously watching the game on Tuesday in his hat, kind of undercover. But you said you hadn't been to City this season, you didn't go to City last season. Do you choose not to go to games then? Is that, or why do you not go and watch matches? Is it because maybe the attention?
Last year it never worked out. I could have watched one or two Champions League games. Yeah, but I watch a lot. I like watching football, but I said it already. The problem is a little bit. I have no idea that you go down. It's more. Nobody can obviously avoid to ask for a selfie. So and then you stand up all the time and say yes, okay, of course, because we are all kind persons. Yes, love to do it. And then can I watch the game for a second? So it's not. So I can see it better from home. So I thought when I was younger and nobody knew me, then I watched each weekend in each stadium in Germany football games, but so I only do it for watching football. And if now Pep did it, but he was first time here, so and I watched Man City a lot, only not live in the stadium. So and we have wonderful camera perspectives for our analyze. So it's much better than sitting on the stand. But of course, I enjoyed it a lot to do it, to get an impression of everything, the crowd, the relationship between performance and crowd. So a lot of things what you can learn when you watch a game live, but it's quite difficult to do it. And so last year I had absolutely no time, I would say, and this year, yeah, I didn't do it.
David, Manchester City.
Yeah, you mentioned you'll be without Coutinho, but you're expecting Joel Matip to be fit for the game?
No.
Good. Okay. James? Just a question about James Milner.
He's fit.
Early points for the way he's playing at left back. Have you ever known a player to adjust so well to somewhere that isn't his primary position and also saved you a bit of money in the transfer market too?
Lucas Piszczek. So when we took him from Hertha BSC Berlin, he was a right winger, and we didn't ask him. We told him we want you to have the right fullback, and he said I can't play right fullback. I said yes you can, and then he came and he played right fullback since then. So yeah, of course it's not likely, and it's not often, and it's not that you start as a as a goalkeeper and as a Premier League striker, but it's not that the football changed in the last few years, and you need different players, different skills for different positions than before, than in former times. And so, and Millie was clear that if he is open for this position, then everything will be good. So that's not a big surprise for us, but not because we are genius, not only because we already knew him and we knew how we want to play from the position. But for example, Kleine on the other side, I think played in his past the position completely different. Now he's the same on the right side, so he's more a winger than he was last year, and that's exactly the same development, only a different way if you want. So things change and the players have to adapt, and you are never too old to develop, and that's maybe I said it before, Millie didn't love the position, but I think nobody really spoke with him about it. They put him there and played. So, but we always liked this player, and so for us it was clear that we try everything to use him, and that's what happened now.
And do you look back at the games you've had against Pep Guardiola in the past to in any way glean anything about what possibly could happen?
No, because maybe it's a big surprise, but I don't play against Pep Guardiola. So our teams play against each other, and they are completely different than Bayern was or Dortmund was when we played each other. So no, it's we know about. I could say nearly everything about how Pep played with Bayern, but that's not important anymore because now he's a Man City, different players, different things to do, different systems. We are a different team. So in this moment, both sides cannot be sure which idea the other team has. So and that's what we have to accept. That's what I accept, of course. But it's not that we have a look back in the last few games against Pep Guardiola because, yeah, we don't play each other. So our teams do it.
Carl Malcolm, Pep is regarded as the great innovator. What influence do you think he's had on the modern game in general? Have you tried to copy certain things he does or changes?
What's it, total football or something? I don't know. In Dutch it was Johan Cruyff, something like this. Maybe Johan Cruyff started it, but Pep made it nearly perfect with the side of Barcelona. He had a big influence at Bayern. The Bayern game changed completely. So he's an outstanding manager, 100%. But I'm not interested too much in giving the things a name. So actually, but you can see it on a pitch. He's a really influential manager, and he has a clear idea. And it's pretty much a good idea, to be honest. So it's yeah, that's it. So he had a fantastic career until now. So with a nice start at Barcelona and really, really good at Bayern. So and now he's in City, and I think he's there to be successful and not to show how good he is. So that's the thing. That's how we all are. We want to help our team, and but as how I said, very influential. But it's the Barcelona style is not possible for each team to play. So it's a lot. It depends a lot to the players you have. I mean, to tell a Sunday morning league team try to play like Barcelona, that's pretty difficult. So it's always a different way you have to choose, and it's always you adapt always to your players. That's what he's doing, and that's what we do.
This game is seen as two good attacking sides going against each other. Does that mean that defence becomes more important? The deciding factor almost?
Yes. I would say we both should think a little bit about how we protect our own attacks. So, because both teams are pretty good in counter-attack, so that's a big thing. Both teams are pretty good in possession, so we have to defend both on highest level. At the end, probably the detail will make the difference. I'm not sure. but it's nice to think about. It's not that nice to speak about, but it's nice to think about and to try everything what you can in the game, and that's what we actually want. What I like is that we beat them last year, but we lost the final, unfortunately. But we beat them last year, but it was really okay. It was difficult, of course, and it was kind of, how I said, they were top in the table, and we were kind of, I don't know, somewhere nowhere, but could win the game. And now they getting better since last year. We are getting better too. So it will really be interesting, but it will be a different game to last year. It's not exactly the same. We cannot play like last year. They will not play like last year, and so that's really exciting, how I said. And if I would not sit on the bench, I would buy a ticket 100% for this game. And yeah, that's cool.
Anything from Glenn? No, that's answered. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Very nice to room up. Thank you.